Hi BookTube, welcome back to the History Shelf. Hi. Trying something new with my camera because I have a huge stack of books. This is a long overdue spotlight on wonderful titles from Casemate. They are out right now. I'm catching up on a backlog of several new releases that I think you might all be interested in, especially for you fans of military history. As you know, Casemate is the go-to for authoritative and in-depth and highly detailed military history accounts, just spanning every era and every genre, including fiction. So let's start, shall we? I'm going to clear these away. I am filming in my parlor, and I'm doing something a little different because I'm going to tell you what, with this new camera, with this 4K camera, the last couple of videos trying to upload it to YouTube, it took hours. So I bumped down the frame rate to about 30 instead of 60. Now I hope this isn't going to take me all night to upload this. But we're going to have to move through quickly. It's going to have to be a relatively. I won't be doing 50-minute videos now with this high-resolution camera. It's going to take forever to upload. So let's just start. I'm going to start with some of these beautiful big books that have been coming lately. They're called Then and Now. And we've got the first one here is called The War in the Channel Islands, Then and Now, by Winston G. Ramsey. As you can see, Then and Now, and it's after the battle, I guess, is the type of, or the name of the publisher. But they're compilations of just written articles, and they're a wonderful resource for photos, photos that would be hard to find anywhere else. As you can see, though, the type is very, very, very tiny. I'm going to need a little bit of a magnifying glass. But I've got several of these now. In fact, I have another stack behind me. So I will need to pull that one out as well. But we've got The War in the Channel Islands. And this is kind of good. I can have my hands free to kind of open these bigger books up for you and kind of show you just the wealth of photographs. I mean, these alone are just worth the price of the book. Just to have these. If you are a fan of World War II, or not a fan, but just well, I guess fan, a dedicated reader and studier of World War II items, these books are a wonderful resource. And when you have a bunch of them, and this is a skinny one, by the way, but when you have some of these bigger ones, they are very heavy. These are the type of books I would put on my the bottom of my, there we go, one of my resources on the bottom of my parlor shelf here. I'm in the downstairs area, not in my office as usual. So again, with this camera, I am getting mobile with it. So the second book I have in this is called Bases of Bomber Command Then and Now, Roger Freeman. As you can see after the battle. So there we go. And then again, so this is just an in-depth compilation of everything written on these different locations. We've got Faldingworth here. Look at that. I'm trying to make sure I'm in frame. I'm sitting right behind the camera. I'll get better at this, guys. I'll get more polished. But, yeah, I was just browsing through a lot of these pictures and just looking at them. And just alone, I love looking at the photographs. And I have some more behind me. While you continue to look at that... Oh my gosh. Oh boy. I'm not sure if I've shown these ones to you guys yet. Now these are the really big ones. This is going to have to probably be a two-parter because I've got a lot of Casemate books to show you guys. So here's the next one in the series. Bam! The Battle for Monte Cassino. Let me just back it up. So this one's thicker, as you can see. This one is by Jeffrey Plowman and Perry Rowe. So now we get into some juicy stuff. I like the books that have just, the covers, the battles and stuff. We got the war in the Channel Islands. That's interesting. I haven't read much about the Channel Island battles, so that'll be good. But this one's about Mont Cassino. This one's got some color imagery in here. Just a wonderful resource. Mont Cassino was the battle in 1944, I believe. There was more than there's more than one battle. The battles for, it says here, Cassino encompass one of the few truly international conflicts in the Second World War. A strategic town on the road to Rome. The fighting lasted 4 months and cost the lives of more than 14,000 men from 8 nations. And that was between January and May 1944. So this has got like colored battle maps, pictures of where the streets look like today. So this is outstanding. So yeah, I can't believe I'm amassing this collection of these after the battle, then and now books. I can't say enough about them. If you're a diehard fan of World War II history. Now this one is huge. Bam! Did you hear that? The Desert War, Then and Now, by Jean-Paul Palude. This one is very thick. It is very heavy. I'm not going to lie. Oh my gosh. So this is about, the war in Italy, sorry, not the war in Italy, the war in Africa. We've got Italian forces. I'm trying to find out how many different areas. It's the campaigns through 1940 through 43. So we've got part 3, the Germans move in. But look at this. These books are outstanding resources, and the text is a little bit easier to read in this one. So, but these are fantastic. I can't tell you how much I love browsing through these. Wow. So there we go. We've got these 4 so far, and I think I've shown you a couple more before. And I know I have actually, and those are upstairs in my office. Okay, so this one's a little bit more of a downer and kind of chilling. This is the Nazi death camps then and now. So, I should mention, this is a good time for me to mention, and I'm very as excited as one can be about this. I received an email from the Auschwitz Visitor Center or something like that, but they were offering, for a registration fee of like $50, you could be on a virtual Auschwitz tour, knowing that I will never get there. And just reading the reviews of people who had actually been there and who had actually gone on the virtual tour, they said it was amazing. And so I registered, and Martine's going to sit with me, and we're gonna watch it. It's on February 4th. So this kind of ties in with this, but I plan on reporting back to you on the whole experience because. Wow. And I'll also leave a link. They have future dates coming up for the virtual tours if you're interested. But apparently it's pretty life-changing to see those places. So yes, this is not going to be an easy one. I'm not sure what I'm going to be opening up my the page to. Oh, looks like Roxy escaped. Martine tried to lock her upstairs. That didn't work. But, yeah, so anything, sorry, I don't want to do any triggers here for horrible things, but they cover it by nation. Czechoslovakia, the trials, I would imagine, of the war criminals after. In fact, I have a book to show you from Casemate about the Nuremberg trials, too. So, the then and now, they cover a massive amount of information, so. Those are my recent acquisitions from Casemate with the After the Battle, Then and Now series. And they are heavy, but they are super, super fun. Except for Nazi death camps. But they're super informative. And again, just a wealth of photographs that, you can't beat. You can't really find them anywhere else. Speaking of Nuremberg, so let's go into the next book. we've got, it's out right now, you can check out. It's Blind Obedience and Denial, The Nuremberg Defendants by Andrew Sangster. Casemate edition here. It's a revealing yet accessible examination of the Nuremberg trial, and most crucially, all 23 men who stood accused, not just the most famous, Speer, Hess, and Goering. So I've kind of got like a little mini obsession with Nuremberg. I ever since I interviewed the author of The Soviets at Nuremberg, I think, I just got really intrigued by how the whole trial was run and how the different Allied nations kind of broke up the different types of different aspects of the prosecution. They kind of divvied up responsibilities, so it was intriguing, and then I kind of really wanted to read more about it. So, Blind Obedience and Denial, The Nuremberg Defendants by Andrew Sangster, and how the defendants, how their attitudes towards the Third Reich and other senior Nazis evolved as the trial progressed. Hey, Roxy. Okay, so this is, I'm really looking forward to this actually. This is Trotsky, The Passionate Revolutionary by Alan Todd. Roxy really wants to get on camera or stop me from filming. This is put out by Pen and Sword. It's the new biography, that illuminates the love life and literary career of Leon Trotsky. You know, it would have been better for Trotsky, obviously. He would have lived longer if he would have followed his passion for publishing language and literature. Of course, they're going to cover his affair with Frida Kahlo. And it says 80 years, I guess it was 80 years anniversary of his assassination in 2020. So I'm really, you know, I'm intrigued by the Russian Revolution, and even though I virulently disagree with their Marxism and everything else, I've always been fascinated by what drove these men to, you know, set the world on fire with the most horrible idea ever created, Marxism. So anyway, Trotsky, The Passionate Revolutionary. That is a new Casemate release, or Pen and Sword. Ooh, and then I've always been wanting to get more information on the role of Ireland, or, you know, in World War II. They didn't really, they weren't aligned with, I think, well, Northern Ireland sent some forces, but that was about it. In the Ranks of Death, The Irish in the Second World War by Richard Doherty. A little paperback here. Pen and Sword is the imprint. It's an overdue tribute to all the Irishmen and women who, despite the neutrality of Ireland, did make a contribution to the Allied cause during World War II. So about 100,000 volunteered. And it looks at the deeds of Irish soldiers, sailors, and airmen. So I really wanted a little bit more information, you know, about the Irish folks who did fight in World War II. So this looks like a good history. Of course, I haven't read it yet, but it's on my stack. Bam. And this guy, I've heard the name a lot in different types of histories that I've read, and I haven't read any type of biography on him. So this is like my first, and I'm really excited. This is Robert Baden-Powell, a biography by Lorraine Gibson. And look who wrote the foreword, Bear Grylls, who is now Order of British, what does the OBE stand for? Something of the British, well, they don't say Empire anymore, do they? But they might. Let me see if I can get my Pen and Sword, as you can see. So it's a biography on Robert Baden-Powell, I should say. He was the one who... It says here he was a conflicted character, militarist and pacifist, macho man and drag artist, elitist and socialist. He was one of the 20th century's most influential and latterly controversial Englishmen, finding fame not once but twice, but for very different reasons. I'm intrigued. I did not know that the guy was also, he dressed up in drag and stuff, so that's cool. we'll find out what's going on. Oh, this looks really good. Okay, so I'm looking forward to learning more about Robert Baden-Powell. It's a little bit harder for me to read the descriptions for you, knowing I'm on a kind of a time limit here, and I'm sitting in an awkward position, so I can't really... I want to make sure you have something to look at beside the jacket leaf as I'm reading. So this is interesting. We've got Hitler's father. Hidden letters. Why the son became a dictator. Now, I doubt this book will tell us why. I mean, you can't blame it all on Daddy, but it's by Roman Sandgruber. This is I believe this is a frontline book, is the imprint, as you can see. Again, they just tackle some letters that Alois Schicklgruber, and by the way, Hitler, if he hadn't changed his name would have been Adolf Schicklgruber, and if that name does not inspire fear, you would be correct, and that's probably why he changed it, Adolf Schicklgruber, and his father there, Alois. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. So I like to read letters. You know, I do like reading historical letters, and apparently there's 31 letters here. I'm not sure what these are going to reveal, but I thought it might be fun to read them. Not fun, but there's a chapter on financing, the desire to become a farmer. You know, there's just a lot. There's history in here, obviously, that I wouldn't know from anywhere else. So I thought, you know what, I'd like to take a look at this. So thanks to Casemate, I have the hidden letters of Adolf Hitler's father. Who would have thunk it? All right. Now we're going to move on to Battle, Understanding Conflict from Hastings to Helmand by Graham Callister and Rachel Whitbread. This is another pen and sword imprint. I just thought kind of a general history, really, up to a certain point. And I always like reading the different studies about battle, warfare, the evolution of warfare over time. It's always intriguing to me. So I'm curious to check this one out. All right. What do we have here? Okay, let me get into this really cool one. Bam. We've got this wonderful series called Century of the Soldier. This is the Shogun's soldiers, and I think Vin at Revenant Reads would probably really be into this. This is the daily life of samurai and soldiers in the Edo period of Japan, 1603 to 1721. And this is volume 1, so there's going to be another one. But these books are fantastic. I love the series. Look at the wealth of illustrations, color. It shows, let me pull back so you can see, line art. Kind of shows you artist renditions or illustrations of daily wear, clothing. We've got armament coming up here pretty soon. Gosh, so much. There we go. Look at this. Look at this. Suit of folding armor with attached armored sleeves on the left. Wow. I just love this stuff. Now, I know this is talking about Japan, and I know this, I'm going to talk about a series on Netflix that is definitely in the fantasy realm. However, it's very historical as well. Check out Kingdom. It is a South Korean series. I watched it's 2 seasons. It's got a thing about, like, you know, people who like come back to life. I guess like you call them zombies, but it's based apparently on something that they ate. You know, like a plant that can bring people back to life, but they turn into monsters. But it's set during this time where this prince is trying to reclaim his throne from his evil stepmother. But what I loved about Kingdom is that I just knew watching it, I'm like, they took care to make sure they got the the uniforms correct. You know, what the type of headwear that these guys were wearing, the different roles of, you know, so like soldiers had different type of headwear, the princes, the royalty had different, and then the clothing and the equipment and weaponry was just outstanding. I highly recommend you check out Kingdom. You know, it gets kind of creepy and spooky at times, but man, oh, do they do it well. I hope they make another season. Okay, coming up on 20 minutes, guys. So we're going to break it off here, and I'll be right back with the next stack of books from Casemate. It'll be Spotlight number 2.